Bitcoin is breaking out, pumping massively. In this video, we're going to take a look at the volume support for Bitcoin, the most important levels, the altcoin market, some breaking news, and we're also going to cover this Bitcoin versus gold chart, and the most important chart in my opinion for Bitcoin. And towards the end, we're of course going to cover my trade that is currently up 96% over on Weex. So if this sounds interesting, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Can we get above 100 likes? Would be absolutely amazing. So first of all, Bitcoin is breaking out exactly as we have been talking about previously on this channel, because we had this massive ascending triangle and we told you that we was either going to go up or down, and now we are pumping massively to the upside. So this is obviously very, very bullish. We broke above this downward sloping trend line of resistance, so now higher prices could be expected in my opinion. And the Bitcoin semi gap is around 88,000 for Bitcoin, so that's of course a bad sign that we could potentially see a dump to fill the gap before then potentially head higher. That's a possibility for Bitcoin in the imminent short term. And if we cover the volume support for Bitcoin, we are right now at approximately 90,000 for Bitcoin. However, if we lose this line at approximately 81,000, that support, things could get dangerous for Bitcoin, because as you can see right here, we almost have no volume support between 80 and 70k, so then we could go down to around 70k to this previous resistance and this previous support, as you can see right there. So that's a possible scenario for Bitcoin if we see a drop below 81,000. And these are the most important levels for Bitcoin in my opinion. So if we see a further pump, this 95k area will be very, very important to break above this 0.618. And if we drop lower, this 0.786 level will be very, very important for Bitcoin to stay above, in my opinion. And if we cover the altcoin market, this is the crypto market cap excluding top 10. We are actually breaking down from this downward sloping trend line in the past 3 months. So this is obviously very, very bullish for altcoins in my opinion. And today we have seen an increase of more than 1%. And we have some breaking news. Michael Saylor hints at buying more Bitcoin. So this is obviously very, very bullish. He's back to buying Bitcoin. So that is very, very good. And silver overtakes Nvidia to become the second largest asset in the world by market cap. So this is insane in my opinion. Silver has been absolutely pumping massively, now above $82. And just a few months ago, not even close to these levels. And now we are at second place after gold, so that's absolutely insane. And if we cover Bitcoin versus gold, because I do think Bitcoin is very, very undervalued compared to other assets right now. However, we are actually pumping from this support, as you can see right there. Massive, massive level of support for Bitcoin, support there, and now it's acting as support again, hopefully here. So we are likely to see a bounce in my opinion. So that's of course very, very bullish if that plays out for Bitcoin. And this is what I believe to be the most important chart for Bitcoin now in the next few weeks. Last cycle, we have been covering this earlier on the channel. We had higher high and lower high here on the RSI. And then we came down to these exact levels before seeing a pump on the RSI and also a pump for Bitcoin, a relief rally. And then we entered a bear market after confirming the breakdown at the 50 simple. And I think the exact same thing could potentially play out again. Higher high, lower high here on the RSI. We are at exact these levels. We are now seeing a pump, so we could see a relief rally to around 100,000 to the 50 simple to confirm the breakdown, and then enter into a bear market before the next bull market towards 27, 28, and 29. That's what I think could potentially happen. And my trade over on Weex is currently up 93%. And I have limit short orders, as you can see right here. So I'm likely to close this long position once we see a further pump to the upside, and then these orders could potentially get filled when we see this relief rally before entering lower prices. That's a possible scenario in my opinion. If you want to trade yourself, you can check out the first link down below, and then you can also join CryptoLives group for daily insights. And right now you can deposit 100 USDT and get 50 USDT bonus with the first link down below. And you can also, step number 1, register using above link in the description below, and then transfer your funds to Weex. And step number 3, join Weex Alliance Group using below link with this specific link. So check out Weex down below if you want a reliable exchange to trade Bitcoin or altcoins, as I'm personally doing right here, 93% on this Bitcoin long position. And of course, it's happening right now for Bitcoin. We are breaking out. And the question is, of course, if we are about to pump to the top of the triangle here, or where we are likely to top out at. I do think that could potentially happen at the 50 symbol around 100,000 before then breaking down. That's a possible scenario. But of course, the fact that we are breaking to the upside is very, very bullish in my opinion. And of course, this is bearish in the imminent short term, but we have a semi gap below the price of Bitcoin at approximately 88,000. And of course, if we break below 81, things could get very, very dangerous for Bitcoin. And I do think these levels are very, very important to take a look at and watch for Bitcoin. And of course, the fact that altcoins are pumping, that is obviously very, very bullish for crypto. And of course, the fact that Michael Saylor is buying again, most likely, is also very, very bullish. And of course, silver and precious metals are absolutely pumping. And I do think once QE really, really kicks in next year, I do think alts and Bitcoin especially is going to outperform most other assets, if not all of the other assets. So that is what I personally think could happen. So I do think Bitcoin is the catch-up trade for 2026 and onwards. So that is where I'm putting my money, and I do put my money where my mouth is. And if you want to buy Bitcoin, links are down below to the exchanges that I personally trust and use. And let me know your thoughts down below. And thank you so much for watching. See you tomorrow morning. Bye bye.